productive program, okay? So I can see, okay, what we're doing, how we're integrating with the business community.
You bet.
You know, and then trying to fulfill the labor needs out to the community.
Okay. Do you
Yes.
track all your placements?
Yeah, pretty close.
Do they actually complete before they get placed?
Well, it's better than it used to be because we're actually set them up with that job placement in their first year, and then our employers sign an agreement that says we won't poach them from you. We'll encourage them to finish
stay
their
for the second
education.
year. Very good.
So that's really helped with completion, and also just helping students make that connection between what they're learning here and then they're
Right.
going to work and getting.
Do you have any of the dealerships helping you with equipment and stuff like that?
Yeah, we get a lot of
Very good.
donations.
Very good.
Pretty much everything, all the vehicles are donated, and a lot of parts. We have a
Okay.
lot.
Where we have peers come to the table and commit student and community their program, and just builds that connection to them.
Sure, that's great.
Is this one of the trucks like the DNRC has?
Yes.
That's already matched around the state with all
Yeah,
the
so that's a 2008,
Okay.
it was a DNRC,
It was
in-house
one-
CLO, and then
Okay.
it was actually a loaner out for fire departments as it got older.
Okay.
And then, state agencies can say, hey, before that goes to surplus.
Right.
And so for our students that then work summers, when we train
Right.
them, they train on identical.
On that equipment, and everything was gonna be the exact same for them.
It's
And in a fire situation, wildfire situation, that can actually save lives.
Yeah, and it's dead simple too. So
Yep.
you can just look at it and run it. So that's a really nice thing. A number of our students do work summers for
Very good.
state or federal wildland, and so yep, just picked it up this year, and about all we changed the decals. You can actually see the ghost, the old engine number on the back.
Yeah.
Call a person during the day before you have to start doing something, and so it's a good bridge for those programs. I mean,
Sure.
Bridgetown has an amazing program over there, and so yeah, just the bang for the buck for taxpayers. That they've got the admin staff running things, but it is the students that are running the calls.
Right.
And so it's really a nice thing,
Sure.
and we're getting folks, ultimately we're to get folks into jobs. And so, yeah, a couple of our grads been hired lately. One's headed to Bozeman as soon as they start their academy. One just started in Helena. We've got them all over the state, so.
Very good.
So getting them out there. So that's really working well.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Great. Get much more detail than I can on the program, but this is really was our project. 1939, the college started around aviation maintenance with sporting work.
So it's straight aviation maintenance,
Yes.
it's not, okay.
So this is the only program in the state that's FAA approved to provide that training, so they can sit for their airframe and their power plant licenses and
Okay.
work in the field. Very popular, full program. We bring in people from all over Montana and actually around the local.
Okay.
Very few options even regionally to get this training. There's such a need nationally. So
Is this the time?
Jet engines, helicopter, do they do it all? What's the typical? They do so the one person will be able to go through all of them. Okay. These devices right here still confuse the heck out of me. There are more moving parts in a helicopter. The way the pitch changes, and all the universes. I mean, look at all this stuff.
it's true. Full screen. Yeah, it's fine. We have a really active world in club.
And look, any of the steel and fabrication shops are going to stay in the
That's kind of their final project. They start cutting out the designs.
I'm serious, this is a big space compared to what they've got. They've got about a fourth of this.
We're going to host almost 200 students just in welding for Skills USA this spring. So they get a lot of students using this space for this competition, and the welding is the most popular.
And those guys are bringing in all your welders and stuff?
Yeah,
That's
yep.
a lot.
All those mill welders.
Yeah.
So they're doing a training this spring. Miller is. I got some folks to train, but yeah, these are pretty new, pretty nice.
Yeah, they
Off
are.
the line, so yeah.
consistently are, rated in the top 20 in the country of diesel programs for this organization, and they give us the opportunity. We have a pretty new Chrysler truck around here somewhere that was a donation because of the recognition for how great we do with this program, so, yeah.
Just give me the keys. I can drive anyway. I'm trying to say, okay, if would you drive with this guy for a year or so,
Yeah.
2 years, maybe 2 years, because 21 years of age, if I've got this right, is how old you need to be to get your like national license.
Yeah, the interstate, yeah,
the
that's
interstate
right, yeah,
license.
yep.
However, the insurance companies don't like covering you until you're like 22 or 23. So even though you can get, yeah, so you've got these this whole other bench that you have to clear in order to be able to truly have a job having interstate transportation. You know, 12 hours. It's like this thing is actually running while everybody else is home sleeping. And they've got any alerts coming up on their phone. No different than a farmer has their pit irrigating, right? And all of a sudden you get alert up, pit's not running anymore.
Nice.
Hello, how are you? Paul Nicholson.
Matt Rosendale.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Paul is our CNC instructor.
Okay. Oh, he's in the state now. And they're all crying for
absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
hearing it from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, every student that graduates here has their choice of jobs.
Good deal. That's great to hear. That is great to hear. And how many are you running through a year?
I can carry 15, but
Okay.
enrollment's been down the last couple of years.
COVID hit you
I
guys?
think so.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be up a little better next year, and we're doing a lot of stuff to try to boost that.
Where do you see most of your students come from? Cascade County, or is it state, or do you have any out of state? What do you?
So it depends on the program, like,
Sure.
the majority of our students are Lewis and Clark or Jefferson County.
God, that's Cascade. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry.
Great. I spent a lot of time in Great Falls. My 2 sons live there.
Yeah. So we do see, particularly at the Donaldson campus, which is where we have our general education and our nursing
Okay.
program. But we have, in the trades, we draw from all over the state of Montana. And then aviation maintenance, we draw people from all over the country for that
Okay.
program.
Okay.
So that's where we get the.
So the bulk of your student population, is anybody would like to really drill down and have you seen, is it like, okay, so from Lewis and Clark, we're gonna have 80% of our population and maybe 10% from the rest of the state, and then 10% from around the country because of the aviation program.
You know, we build our budget projections on that.
Right.
Based on, for us, we have in-state and out-of-state tuition.
I was
so-
gonna ask, so what, do you give like North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho?
The WUI, that WUI discount,
Okay.
so that's 150% of in-state tuition, so we
Okay.
do recognize that as well.
Okay,
This year, you know, we do build a budget around expecting a certain number of out-of-state students to come into that aviation program. This year, pretty well filled up with Montana students, which is great, we're
so it's
educating
great,
Montanans,
but your budget's,
but it hits our
your
budget.
revenue-
I mean, it
your
does,
revenue's
I
low,
think
sure,
we're
sure.
$70,000 short in revenue this year
Right,
for
right.
that few, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it makes an impact.
That's
but-
interesting. Okay,
It's hazardous to the health of the students and to the equipment.
okay,
But mostly the projects are mild steel 1018 cold roll
okay,
and 60 series aluminum.
okay,
I have advisory board members that donate remnants, so I have a variety of plastics, 17.4. I just got some titanium from Pioneer Aerostructures this
Okay.
morning, so yeah, we try to encourage them to do a little bit of work with a variety of
different materials,
materials so
exactly.
that they can learn a little bit about that and be prepared for
Sure, sure,
their
and
job.
see how they react and the different ways you have to handle them.
Right.
Yeah, very good, excellent.